Well then, hello, how's it going? Uh, I'm kinda tired, but I'm always tired, so whatever, I guess. Um, uh, yeah, I forgot something, but that's fine. Um, today, I don't know what we're doing today, to be honest. We'll figure that out as we go. I have still stuff on my to-do list, obviously, but I need to think about how we do that. Is the audio alright, by the way? Am I audible? Is the music audible? Is just making sure. Um. Okay, I can turn it down a bit. Yeah. Better? Or should I turn it down a little bit more? Okay. Yeah. Last time we have been starting to work on. We got level transitions working, which they are now completely working as intended. I still don't know why that's happening. I should add that to the to-do list. Um. Yeah, I don't know why that's happening. Um. The camera isn't moving its back as quickly as you are is a bit of a problem. But overall, the level transition is now working. Not perfect, but it's working. So, next on the to-do. Uh, uh, when loading. And well, it uses the right state actually, but slash idle state. Weird. Which is actually a big thing that we need to fix. But I don't think it's that important. It functions. Arguably, I should put cleanup after progress. But I don't know. Yeah. That's currently our to-do list. This would be... That's why I'm not sure if I should do cleanup first or after. Because some of the stuff is actually quite important. But arguably, this isn't cleanup, this is a thing I need to actually fix. And arguably this isn't required for progressing through the game and through the game development, so... yeah. So that's something we should fix eventually. The thing is, I have no idea why it's happening. it has to happen in idle. So let me open the states. Player states idle. So we go into this theta animation when neither the if one of them is colliding but not both. Which means we should not be able to enter the state from enter. I'll actually add a print statement here. Theta from... I don't know why I called it theta animation. I think that's how Sonic's ledge sort of animation is called. I would have called it ledge, but we already have so many ledge animations, so never mind. Not theta from idle, theta from enter idle. We can also enter the theta animation in here. So we're going to add a print statement here as well. Enter from theta from update. That should just give us an idea of when it's happening or how it's happening. It doesn't happen, which means it works when we spawn. But then it updates once we move, which... I wish I had a better screen set up for this, where I can show that off properly. Hang on. Let me see if I can shrink this down, so... Because I noticed the issue, we can basically never see what's happening when happening in Godot when I use the build. So let's do this like this. Yeah, something like that. Not the cleanest, but I'll just have to live with that. But now you should be able to see both what's happening in Godot and what's happening. So this is working. If we theta on a ledge normally, it's from enter idle. And in fact, we should never need it from update. So I'm not sure why it's actually in update. Yeah, because that's causing the issue. So... Yo, French, how's it going? And yeah, that's currently the issue we have. Why is this happening? Why do we have this? In which situation... I know why we are moving then. I think I figured out why we are moving if we do that. Because this code... In theory, I know what this code is supposed to do. It's supposed to adjust your position if you're not standing... If you're standing weirdly on like an edge. In a way that would put you Like, that would make you basically float. So it just pushes you, and if you're then still on the floor, it plays the animation. That pushing is simply there so you aren't weirdly in a position where you stand on thin air. But I wonder... Yeah, what this does is if neither ray is colliding. And I think we can just move this code, to be honest. If we put it in enter as well. This should hopefully fix it, because again, we didn't originally enter. That's a fun thing, we never originally enter idle. The first time we entered, we never entered. Well, that's interesting. It still didn't collide properly after. This is better. Oh, I forgot we have the speed booster. I was thinking about it, yeah. Check collision shapes, or visible collision shapes, rather. Why are they not colliding? I guess they're not colliding because they were already colliding at the time we spawned. Probably not. Which we can fix. How do we fix that at best? Because I don't want to update them every time. But we also never enter. Where do we best update them? After spawning the player. Probably, but... So, I guess in the spawn point. Object, spawn point. Or I guess in ready, yeah, because the player only spawns once. So we need to only do it in ready once. But we are already doing it in... We are already forcing the Raycast update in ready. What if we don't do it? Morbid curiosity, what if we don't do it? Okay, it doesn't matter. Which means that code just doesn't do anything, which is just great. Love when that happens. Wait, ready, was it? No, that just doesn't do anything. I guess updating the raycast just doesn't do anything. Which is weird, because why even bother? Oh, French. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but in like half an hour the next issue of Bad Guys is going to release, like the dub. Yeah, what I was telling you, in about half an hour, the next issue of the IDW dub releases of Bad Guys. Thought you might be interested in that. What the... Why are you not colliding? Always. No, but I'm genuinely excited for it. Like, I saw it and was like, dang, I wish I could watch it. But, you know, here I am. Maybe, but that shouldn't stop the raycast. But I guess what I can do is when I spawn, print child plus child dot position. Can I just do that? Dot y specifically. I should probably add. Yeah, I really like those dubs. If you haven't watched the dub for Summer, not Summer, Seasons of Chaos yet, okay, fair. I really like how the hooligans sound in it. Can I not string it? Is string edition not a thing? Did I forgo? Or do I need to string this as well? Oh, yeah. Seems like I just need to make that a string as well. Did that work? No, it did not. But I can check where you are. Why are you at 15? I guess it needs to be global position, not... But 15 should be correct. First of all, that didn't change anything, so never mind. But then I'm just getting completely wrong values, because it shouldn't be 15. Yeah, it should be 0. I know where the 15 comes from, but... But I told them global position. I literally changed the code because I realized that's the problem. Player. It should be the global position now. But yeah, the comics weirdly make me like Zavok a lot. Which is weird because he was really not that good of a character in games. I know why it's 15. Because the distance to the player's middle is 15. But they should be on the ground, globally speaking. I mean, you can see they are on the ground. They are there, even if they are very difficult to see. Oh, yeah, that might be because I spawn the player and then move them. Yeah, but... what we're going to do is add a new function. And it's going to be public. Function update race. Which basically does what we did in Ready. With the only difference being that we can call it at any time. Updates every raycast 2D in the player. And instead of doing this, we call update race. And then in spawn point, we call update race. So it's only called once the player is actually... I don't think you could see that, but it's fine. Nope, did nothing. Just for context, I extracted what I did in Ready, which is updating the race, out of Ready and into its own function, so I can call that function over here. But updating the race doesn't do anything, is the problem. It doesn't actually do anything for us. I mean, I guess we can just update the race in Ready, because Ready is not Ready. In Enter idle. Entity dot update race. Which, again, entities themselves don't have that function, but we know the player has, so... maybe that... Dude... Oh, that does it. That does actually work. Nope, it doesn't work. What annoys me about this is, I don't know when it decides it should update the array again. Like, I don't know why it suddenly decides it should update the array. Which makes me think it can somehow enter the animation without needing to check with the raycasts, but... Can I search an entire project forward? Oh! Thanks for the raid. How's it going? What were you doing? Give me a shout. Shout out. It's hello. We're currently doing game dev. I have no idea what we're currently dealing with a problem which I have no idea how to fix it. Which is that for some reason we enter this ledge theta animation when we're on the ground. But yeah, we're currently working on a little game. What were you doing? So thanks for the raid, like, thanks for trusting your community with me. Oh, cool. What's the topic? What? Isolation. That's really interesting. Yeah, we kind of have this issue that this animation currently plays when it shouldn't. We fixed the worst of it, luckily, but it still happens, and I'm not quite sure why. But yeah, I should probably show off a... Well, still... I mean, if it still fits into isolation, it could be interesting. Like, sometimes a less straightforward interpretation can be also very interesting. But I definitely am interested to see how that game is going to work out. Do you have already a name or something? Also, while we're here, I should probably show off a little bit of what this game is actually supposed to do. That's fine. The name for this game is also currently just a work in progress. But yeah, my game is... It's a very speed-based platformer inspired by the Speedbooster in Metroid, which is a very cool and interesting tool with movement and stuff. Especially Dread did a lot to make maintaining the speed booster interesting. And so that's basically what this game is about. Trying to keep your speed without being slowed down. And yeah, you have a bunch of movement options. Slopes don't work yet. Well, they sort of work. It's complicated. But you have wall jumps, you can climb ledges, you can slide under objects. Yeah, we use a state machine for it. The state machine is a pain. It's been a pain to get working, especially with these many states. But the end result is really good. It makes it really smooth getting the different states to work. Yeah, a good state machine is so useful. Like, this, what we're currently trying to fix, is pretty much the only issue in the entire state machine. And it's not even in more than one state. It's just because I handle something not via state. Like, I bet this wouldn't be an issue if I just handled the theta animation as a separate state. And in fact, I might just do that. I might just duplicate the idle state and... because for the most part I think it should be fine. But yeah, it's been what we've been working on for the last half a year or so. I can't believe it's been half a year. It should be fine. Yeah, that's... actually, let me give you a follow. I haven't done that yet. But yeah, I guess just making a duplicate state is the easiest way to handle that. Create new script, teeter. And copy most of idle into it. Oh, thanks for the follow as well. Yeah, but your project sounds cool, so I want to see where it's going. So yeah, it's from Sonic Colors. That's how the wisps sound. I'm a big Sonic fan, so that's another thing why I really like speed-based things. And yeah, for the most part I can just copy that. I can change the documentation later to do fix. But yeah, for the most part it just acts the same. Exit idle. Is exit private? It's private. Not that Godot really differentiates between the two. Oh, string. The states are strings. And on the other hand, in idle I just exit into theta. And hopefully that should fix it, and if not, I'm going insane. And I don't think I actually need all of this, since we already handle all that logic in idle. Yeah, it's... during a game jam, it's probably not the right time to learn it. Although, I have to say, it's actually very quick to learn with the right tutorials. Like, The tutorial I used, I don't know if I can still find it. It's specifically for Godot, but it's been very quick to learn for me. So that might be useful for you. It's actually text-based. I can post a link in here. That's what I used. And it was relatively quick to learn, like I think it took 1 or 2 streams, so not too long. But obviously it's different for a game jam where you have only so much time. I also need to fix that documentation, but I'm too lazy. I'm so bad at documenting my code. But yeah, let's see if this fixed it. Oh no, it sure didn't. Oops. I'm so glad I shrank the window for the build, so I can actually, you know, see errors without needing to... Yeah, I find the tools for documenting in Godot really good. Like, Godot has really good tools for documenting code, but I'm so bad at documenting anyways. I should actually also post that here. Hydrate. One sec, I need to fill my glass with something to drink. But yeah, Godot has some really good documentation for that too. But it takes so much time, and I want to rather just get done with stuff. Which of course leads to me being confused at my own code like a week later. As is tradition with game dev. If you know, glad I can help you. Like, we do actually have a bit of a game dev community in my Discord. If you're interested in that as well. It's not super active, but if you have any questions, I'm sure we can check and help you with anything. We also do a bunch of other stuff, like art. I do a bunch of games, if I'm not doing game dev myself. And if you're interested in any of that, I can definitely recommend joining Discord. Okay, why is this crashing? Can it just not find the state? Oh, it can't find the state because I didn't add it to the state machine. Ah, that's fine. I know that feeling. But believe me, nobody is expected to, you know, actively say anything. We are just happy to have people around. Right? Yeah, right. I talk about state machines and then I don't even add the state. Add child node, it just needs to be an... Actually, it can be a state. Heater and detach script and attach the Theta script, which should be here. Yeah. And now it should work. Yeah, I get that feeling. It can be difficult trying to actively participate in a community. So I totally get that. Let's try this again. Ah, come on! It didn't fix the issue. I mean, it's still good having it as a separate state, but it didn't fix the issue at all. Okay. collision shapes. Yeah, right. So why is this happening? Why are the rays not updating? Because theoretically I forced them to update when you enter, like when the player enters the idle state. No worries, it's always okay to take your time off after the stream. I know it's very exhausting, so take care. And see you around, I guess. If you wanna check out other stuff or not, that's also fine. But yeah. Why are you still not? I mean, I understand that I didn't actually fix the issue at all. I get that, but I still don't understand what the issue is. I think I need to Google this. Raycast not updating on ready. Godot. Interesting. Let me move that in a different window so I can show it to you. This is actually very weird. Window capture, window capture. So here's the issue. Yeah. The issue at hand is that tilesets don't have a collision immediately, I think. So definitely do. Because I'm excited for it. I've read a bit of it, but I actually want to properly watch it. Because the dubs are amazing. Also that Zavox theme is playing just in time for that is pretty funny. So why is this not working? Because the tile map doesn't have proper collision yet, which should be fine. That should be fine. So how do I... The problem is there's no real way to figure out when it's ready. So I guess I can try this, but I don't know if that's going to fix the issue. Let me try this. Just waiting a process frame before I do, but I don't think that's going to fix it. Yeah, this just makes it worse. I... The problem is we don't collide yet. For whatever reason. Which is fine on this frame. Because entered isn't called. Which is also technically an issue, but... Now we enter idle. But because we are in... Oh. Sorry, I forgot to unhide the build. Not that you missed anything new. This is all stuff I already established. First frame, we don't go into the theta frame because... Yeah. What? Wait, now hang on a second. Do you see the problem? At this point, the previous frame, the previous state should be idle, not walk. Which means we can enter the theta state from walk. Which we should not be able to. Heck! It shouldn't. Shouldn't, but... Yeah, it shouldn't. Because the moment exit is called, enter is called, it should already... Unless... State. Give me state. Entity state. Is the parent method we override only call... But no, the parent doesn't do anything. Enter doesn't do anything. Only exit does. But that would still mean that... It would still mean that we are already in idle. Because only once we are in idle we can actually call enter. But I know we cannot get into Theta from... I mean, I haven't implemented behavior for that. That state didn't exist until like 5 minutes ago. This is so weird. Especially, why does it sometimes only update half of the race? I don't know. What? What? How? How did this happen? You know what? I don't want to know. I really don't. So what's the margin on those? Can I see that here? Let's give this a try, shall we? It shouldn't matter, but... apparently it fixed it. Well, that was way too much time spent on fixing something so trivial. Programming, am I right? Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I take it. I sure take it. Well, we can scratch that off the to-do list. That's a great emote. Okay. Now that that's scratched off the to-do list, next thing, manage current spawn point and level to add several spawn locations. Yeah, because we ideally want to spawn, you know, at the entrance and exit we came from. But we also want to have a spawn point for in case we die in the room. So how do we handle that best? I don't currently know how you would die in any room, because currently we don't have anything that can kill you, really. This game is currently very non-lethal. But... I mean, ideally the loading zone just knows which spawn point it should use or spawn you from. But how? That kind of leads back to the idea of... Yeah, that was what I was thinking too. Alright, that sounds amazing. I suppose things are going to start going down. By the way, French, we fixed it. We fixed the issue. It turned out to be trivial. You know how we use these raycasts? Turns out they have a variable called hit from inside, so if they are stuck inside terrain, they can't hit unless that's on. So in other words, it was trivial to fix. I just should have looked at what raycasts actually can do. Oh well. And now we're trying to figure out how we spawn the player. I mean, the easiest way would be what we did in... Oh, ads are running. I'll explain what we're going to do when ads are over. Okay, I think that's over now. Again, sorry, Twitch doesn't really warn me anymore, it sucks. As I was going to say before I was so rudely oh, the debugger is having some issues with this. It's fine, it's fine. I probably just made some mistakes somewhere. Anyways. Yeah, I mean, they were always kind of inconsistent, but they had a period of time in which they were consistent. Which makes it so frustrating, because they lured us into a false sense of security that the system is now finally working. Anyways, what I was going to say, I think what might be the right approach is what I originally wanted to do with the system, where I connect the different loading zones. Just instead of physically connecting them, they are just connected via like code. And each loading zone then has a spawn point, so the player spawns on top of that spawn point. So... Yo, Zach, how's it going? I can't believe you stole that star from French. How dare? Yeah, probably got to ID them. I mean, they're kinda already ID'd, but... How did what happen? What have you done to stream of us this time? Oh. Yeah. I'm just thinking, I don't know. So how did you know that it was a fake emerald? The thing is, they already have this name. With the C1L3. Which stands for which level they connect to, so... How is the question? Because I agree with you, but I'm not sure how we would do that. Wait. But one thing at a time. First I'll give them their spawn point. So the idea is we want a spawn point on each loading zone. So when you go through a loading zone, you spawn at the corresponding loading zone in the new level. Instead of spawning in the middle of the level as you do currently. I think I added to the loading zone script. So export add export. Can I string? Okay, no. Variable name string. Oh, not name, ID. ID to identify. Loading zone. Okay. ID to identify the loading zone. Should match the level it connects to. Different if there are more than one loading zone, use A, B, C, etc. Not that I really need to be particularly descriptive here, but so that's chapter 1, level 2. That one's chapter 1, level 1. That's chapter 1, level 3. Etc, etc, etc. Yeah. Now that we have the IDs, how do we find the loading zone? In the level manager? Actually, first, what do I call? Change level. Which change level calls... Change level. In level manager. That's unfortunately not quite what I need. I also need to add an onReady variable. OnReady. Spawn. Which is a spawn point. Which currently doesn't have a spawn point. Because I'm pretty sure loading zones aren't actually a scene. But that's fine. Which... I know I'm very descriptive with my documentation today. So anyways, instantiate child scene. Never mind, add child node. Just a regular node. Uh, spawn point. And your limit is going to be... Oh, I should attach the script first. Object. Wait, are you a scene now or are you not? And does it matter? Then it shouldn't be a scene, right? If it doesn't matter if it's a scene or not, it shouldn't be a scene. How do I stop it from being a scene? Next question. Because I realize it really doesn't need to be. I get the feeling last time we just deleted it, something went horribly wrong. There's nothing in that scene. That's why I'm so confused why it is a scene. Yes. Okay. And I'll do it on this end too. And then I can delete the scene. Cancel. First I save the scenes, so this... Okay, now we can do it. Now it's just a script. Because it doesn't need to be more than a script. The spawn point needs a limit node, which is the third limit node in this case. And then we do the same for these loading zones. We add a node to D, rename it to spawn point, attach and this one should have a limit, the first limit I think. And we add a child node here and call it spawn point. Again, attach the script and hopefully this should all work. Sign, I think, limit free. Yeah, limit free. Okay, next thing. We need to... In the level manager, instead of spawning the player at... Oh, that's a problem. Currently the player is spawned and ready of the level. We should not do that. What do we do instead? Because currently, once the level is ready, we just spawn the player, but we cannot do that. Well, we can, but then we always spawn at the spawn point of the level, which we don't want. Maybe, yeah. Thinking how best to do this. First of all, I think they should still know the current level. Mainly so we later can access this load level return. That just allows us to access which level is actually the current level, which might be useful later on. Like for example, if the player dies, we can then just tell the level manager, yeah, tell the current level to respawn the player. Makes sense? Good. Now, when we change the level, current level dot await current level dot ready. How do we know which was the previous level? I guess we just add it as a connection ID string. So current level dot spawn player connection ID. Actually, we can just call that deferred then. Deferred. And in level we add a public function spawn player. With a string connection ID. String. So If connection ID if it's an empty string, then we spawn the player at. Else, for child in children, get children. We go through the children. If child is loading zone, then if child dot ID, I should not have used capitalized ID, equals connection ID child dot spawn point dot spawn. Oh. How do I stop the function? Is it break or pass that I should use in that case? Because I want to do something else. Actually, and that should work. Which of course means now in the level manager I need to give a connection ID. They need two IDs actually. Or yeah, they need a connection ID and they need a starting ID. The connection ID being the ID that they give the... Yo, Hexen, how's it going? ID... string. ID of the connection. I guess. Export. And instead of I don't know if I can give them yellow stripes. And I probably can with enough effort, but... why do you only have ID? Oh yeah, right. So the connection ID should always be the level you're currently in. One. I mean, yes, I'll see if I can figure something out. Is that okay? Can I promise that? The level. Match the level this loading zone is in. Yeah, so in this case the connection ID should be C1L2. This one should also have C1L2. Actually, can we just give the level an ID? Because I feel like that would be easier. Does this know which is its level? Currently not, but we can change that. Export variable level. The level this loading zone is in. Speaking of, level now gets an export variable ID. Add export ID string. The level ID used to identify the level. So in this case the level ID is C1L2. And the level ID for this one is C1L1. Which is actually very similar to the naming scheme of Doom now that I think about it. Like E1, M1. Now I'm almost tempted to change it, but no. I mean, it wouldn't really matter if I change it. That's the positive part about this code. It doesn't actually matter. So the loading zone now uses, instead of connection ID, level.id. Which, in theory, should make it so it always works. And your level is going to be chapter 1, obviously. And your spawn point is going to be spawn point. Which, speaking of, where is spawn point, actually? Oh, it's just at the same spot. Perfect. No you. Chapter 1. But yeah, this should work. Which one is the right loading zone? This one. That theoretically also means we don't need to have that in the name anymore, which level it is, but it's still nice to have for reference. Where's your spawn point? Should probably be in the center. And you should probably be in the center too. Um, how far ahead are you? Yeah, and that's why I didn't want to do it that way. Oh well. That's why I didn't think this was going to be useful. But this should work now. I say should because nothing ever works in this. Okay, I still need to spawn the player. Level ready. No, this should work. No, I know why it doesn't work. How do I call spawn player without causing issues? I guess just call it here. Empty string. Because with an empty string, we'll never find a loading zone with the right spawn point. Which is what we actually want, because that would call this instead. So, yeah. Now let's see if this actually works. It kinda did. No, it didn't work at all. What if I removed it? Then we don't spawn anymore. Ah, for fuck. If level manager, dot player is null, nil. It's null. Spawn player. Is it equals? Yeah. Oh, spawn player with empty string. So that works. Now it just didn't spawn. Now it just didn't do anything. Still the wrong spawn point. I have a suspicion. Let me try something. Let's make it tall. I wouldn't rule it out. But at the same time, we are not falling here. Let me just ask for the location of the player. I think that might be a good starting point. Probably after spawning. Friend player dot position. Could it be because it's a child of something that isn't the level? Because the level is at 0, 0. That it's a child of something that isn't at 0, 0, that it's giving me the wrong position. Because this isn't a global position. Let's try that. Your global position and your global position equals the global position of this spawn point. Position. I should maybe try that in a scene that actually this worked, but I'm not surprised that it worked. Yep, that was it. Also, I should probably keep the player paused for a little longer, but... yeah, it worked. Oh yeah, this is working wonderfully. What I just accidentally have proven. The second loading zone in the second level should lead to level 3. But currently we don't have level 3, so it's set to spawn in level 1, which is fine. That's not the point. What I have proven is it finds the right connection. Because it currently it has the right level, because it has this level as the connection ID. And the only connector here with that ID is this one, because this is the one that leads there. And similarly, this will always lead to the question. I don't know why that didn't work. We'll figure that out soon. But yeah, what I was going to say is... because this one is the only one that leads to the second level, we will always spawn at this one if we go to the first level. From the second level anyways. So they're working now. Except they're not working because for some reason I could just walk through it without it doing anything. But that's a different issue. If I move very carefully, I can move through that without triggering it. But that's not what causes it. It's not that I spawn at the thing and... But that's not the issue. The issue is that when I'm walking slowly through it, and I mean slowly, I can walk through it without it triggering. I know where it fails. It uses velocity here. So what happens is that by taking very small steps, I can trick it into thinking yeah, it's a race condition. Because our velocity becomes 0 before it actually... how do we fix that? I mean, it should never come up in a normal playthrough, but it can. That's the problem. The problem is if I assume players are just playing how I intend them to, would be no problem. But I achieved it. Someone else might too. I mean, there's not a real way to abuse it. There's nothing there. But it might cause frustration because there will never be anything. I'm not loading this level again. But okay, I get your point. Yeah, fair point. Yeah. Which would be a cool trick, but also I don't... A cool trick that can also sometimes just cause you to softblock. So... you know. Because currently that would be a softblock. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, probably. So I should probably... body dot... equals... This should be fine, because we're calling it sooner. Shit. When... The issue with idle is especially, idle needs to set it to 0. It's kind of the whole thing. Wait, How do we save this? When do we save it? I guess... Yeah, I don't know if we should save it in the state machine, but... yeah. Probably an entity. So... It isn't... It didn't used to be. It is now. It is now. T. Of the player. Of the entity. So, in physics process... I guess... But when do we calculate the new velocity? When is that calculated? I think in walk? I mean, if velocity dot... What is velocity? It's a vector, so there shouldn't be a 0. It should be vector 2. I'm pretty sure velocity is set... I think that's called. It's set in the States. Entities physics. Yeah. Yes. That's correct. So. I don't need this anymore. Which is one thing. Which also means I don't need the gravity anymore. Actually, that's a problem. Because that would mean wall sliding doesn't... that's a problem for later. If path velocity dot x velocity dot x or path velocity dot y welcome back. Mod poll. Okay. The mod set up a poll while I take a break, so ads can run and you don't miss anything. And then we'll figure out this cluster hack of what? Well, I guess I make a poll then. But yeah, I'll be right back. Okay. Anyways, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. At least Twitch warned me this time. Also, Selec explained what's going on. I'm not going to talk about it right now because it's a lot, and I would rather wait until a bit more about the situation is clear. But something is happening with ESA, if you know what that is. The European speedrun thing. It's varied. It's kinda tangential to... Like... I have never run at ESA, I've watched it maybe once or twice. But I know a lot of runners that did run at ESA in the past, so... Yeah... I get what you mean. So it could be cheaper, but I don't know how it is with Godot. And either way, it probably doesn't matter. Like, we are not at a level where we need to save resources. So... Now I still need to figure out how I do this, but... I'm actually kind of curious if that has an effect, because wall sliding is actually kind of important. Now we are never landing. Well, okay, note to myself, don't just remove random code. Fine. Have it back. It seems to work fine, so I'm not complaining. But... That's weird. Could we then call the super function first? No, we have to decide on one or the other because... yeah, right. And that's why we're not calling the super function, because... Yeah, got it. Because if we were calling the super function, it would lead to weird stuff. Okay, yeah. Wait, I didn't change any of the code. I should probably first fix the issue I was trying to fix before. If body.velocity is or body.previous velocity dot y. If either of those is true, then... Because for us it basically doesn't matter. The end result is almost the same. X. And that should hopefully make it so we can just sneak past the loading zone. Yeah, it seems like this is working now. Yeah, great. No notes. I should probably implement this code in the camera trigger as well, which arguably triggers should be like player trigger should be their own thing, but then again, there's no real point in. Yeah. In fact, let's do that real quick, shall we? I forgot we have that. Forgot we have the PTTV emote. Good old Super Mario RPG. That was a fun time. I kind of want to get the Paper Mario remake at some point as well, because I'm excited for that too. Let me write that script. I saw that. I saw you posted in the Leaf Gang, I think. Script area trigger. Which extends area 2D. 2D. And what it does is it has on body exited, and instead of calling this function, it calls a function called trigger effect, which then can be overwritten to do whatever we want. Oh. And then instead of doing this, we use trigger effect. Trigger effect. Trigger effect. And then we need to add direction, which is func trigger effect. That would be cool if you could, but obviously take care of yourself first. Don't want you to overwork yourself, or you know. And guess I can do that in ready of the area trigger 2. This is a private function actually. You know. Always gotta take care that you can actually do, that you do as much as you can, but not more. And that is not anything you can decide in general. It's something you need to decide day by day. So, yeah. I'm not good at formulating things. Brain is not good at braining. But if you get the idea, then... direction... It's more of an area trigger thing. And in theory, that should be already it. So... I don't need... Yeah, exactly. You are probably way better at formulating that this than I am anyways. Which, to be fair, aren't you... didn't you study English? Now I just need to extend area trigger instead. Trigger. And I can get rid of height, I can get rid of that, I can get rid of collision shape since I don't need to. Ah, I don't need this function anymore. Shouldn't you know that? Shouldn't it know direction from area trigger? Shoot, I need to rework the direction. It's fine. But yeah, shouldn't it know the direction it has? Oh yeah, it just didn't update. Not that that matters because I don't need this function anymore. Yeah. And in theory that should work that way. And I can do the same for camera trigger. Because camera trigger basically does the same. Yeah. So I can just get a trigger effect here. I don't need ready anymore. Make it an area trigger. A game, the fear. A theory. A game. Trigger. Funk. Trigger effect. Trigger. Right, Wiverman uploaded a video, right? I have no idea what he's doing. I've watched the video. It seems like some weird... it's like some weird sort of... What? What did I do? How does it know the body? Doesn't need to know the body. Actually, I do think it's better for the function to have the body, though. I think that's actually a good addition to the body entered, or rather to the trigger effect. So I can just update that. Yeah. It's weird, but it's still cool that it's a thing, but like, I don't understand it. And I don't need to. Yes it does. Okay, now both camera trigger and loading zone are area triggers, which I think is a good change. I just need to update all the directions again. Right, up. Oh, it remembered. Great. Right. Down. Right. Left. Down. Yeah. Weird why it remembered sometimes, but other times it didn't, but I'm not complaining. I can also get rid of this function now because we have that already in. And now let's see if it works. It should work, but yeah, it's a cool tech demo, but not necessarily speedrun in the traditional sense. Seems like it's working. The camera is still moving to the player, but it works. Yeah. I get what you mean. Which saying? Sorry, brain is completely fried. Oh, if I had two nickels for. Oh, I see. If I had a nickel for every memory manipulation glitch found this month for Sonic Adventure, or is it for another game as well? Oh, Sonic. If I had a nickel for every memory manipulation glitch found in a Sonic game this month, I would have two nickels. Which, you know. Okay, but back on track. We fixed the thing. We we did the thing. This isn't fixed yet, but we can take care of that. Falling platforms we can take care of in a bit. Oh, I think you told me about that. That's insane. Because that's a lot of levels. And an entire final boss. Yeah, right, you told me that. You can crash the lock-on, so it thinks you're already in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Or rather Sonic and Knuckles, rather than Sonic 3. Okay. I don't think we're going to do falling platforms today. I don't know how long we are still going today. So let's clean up a little. I think that's a good plan. And because the camera position thing should be easy enough to fix. Mainly by just taking away the camera. In spawn point. When we spawn the player... Player... Dot... Player camera... Dot... Free... Player... Add... Child... var cam... Equals... Dot... How do I load a camera again? Preload. Is player camera a scene? I don't actually know. It is in Utah. Yeah, it's so weird what he can do in Sonic. Like, the Genesis games are weird in some regards. Although they are somewhat stable, surprisingly. They are not model Sonic game broken, but they are source, Utah, player camera. And the rest can go. Add child cam. Player cam. Why can I not instantiate the player camera? Oh, because I'm not loading the scene, I'm loading. The player equals cam. What we're essentially doing is we don't replace the entire player, but we do replace the camera because it's easier to reposition it to the player's position than just using the same camera and have it move all the way. Excuse me? Oh, I need to... Okay, let's do it this way. Before we free the current player camera. I can... Oh, do you mean because the game crashed? The issue is the camera currently can't find the player because it doesn't have the player because I forgot to set the variables for the cam. Dot. What are your variables? Lerp speed equals player camera player camera dot lerp speed. Cam dot player equals player dot player camera dot player. No, not multiplayer. Shut. And run ahead. Dot player camera dot run ahead. Yeah, Godot is really nice, but it also it is a game engine like any other. And issues about to. Yeah, it is my favorite engine, so take. Why does it not fix things? This did nothing for us. Equals player dot position. Actually, at this point, would it matter if I just... I just realized, if I have to do this anyway, then... Oh. Then all of this is kinda redundant. Was it that? I forgot how to make comments in this. Multi-line comments. Can I make multi-line comment? God damn! I hate this engine. Let's see if this just works. No, it doesn't. Yeah, agreed. That would be useful. And maybe there is something like that. Well, it would be nice to know then. Uh, uh, well, quite a few things were happening there. Um, oh, because I make it the current camera way later. Uh, there's a non-zero chance that this is just not working at all. Uh, yeah, it's not working at all. Back to the drawing board. I mean, I just need it to be instantly at the position I want. Why is that so difficult? Player camera. Camera. Can we somehow do that? I needed to sneeze and I could not mute myself. Sorry. I don't think that's going to change it, but I can do it. Like, thank you. Global. Up there. That is weird, yeah. How do I... The thing is, effectively, it should never change anything. I mean, I can... equals vector 2 dot 0. Yeah. Dot player camera dot disable. Okay, positions. Documentation camera 2D. Positions moving enabled. That set position, smoothing false. And then, how do I... Yeah, probably. I don't know if calling it deferred does actually, it does do anything actually. But I can try it. I still don't completely understand how call deferred actually works. I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't set it to true again. Hang on. By the way, I hope you all appreciate that I actually rescaled the build window so you can see the error messages and stuff pop up. I figured it was more informative that way, so you see when it crashes. It didn't change anything at all. If I just do this, currently just out of curiosity, then it looks atrocious. I mean, I don't understand it either, so... So it works. So if I don't set it back, it works. Which means we just need to set it back later. Because that means we know now that it works. When do we set it? Get tree. When do I do that? In the level manager, probably. Unpause player, yeah, sure. And then we can also, I guess, set it here to false. Then the spawn point doesn't need to bother itself with it. No? But that's the thing. That's not really the issue. Yeah, I also was thinking about that. Then it never resets. Yeah, yeah. You see that. I think I left it. Yeah, I left it. So that's too late? It's never called? No, that line is just never called. For some reason. Ha. I mean, I can, but it doesn't really... I don't think it should change anything. Yeah, it's just not called. Which raises other questions. Um... That's a good question. That's a very good question. Friend... Unpausing player. And... It's unpauses. It correctly unpauses the player, which in theory would mean smoothing should be enabled again. Or well, in this case not, because I didn't add the code back, but. I'm actually curious if that's too early. Maybe, I don't know. I think now it's working. Yeah. But then this happens. That's so weird. So what have we learned? Okay, yeah. Friend, disabling position, smoothing, and currently we don't set it true again, but it's correct. Yeah. And then in... Where do we want to set it true again? if global position equals player dot global position, this is a weird approach, but might work. Or it will completely fail, but... currently we are enabling it almost every frame, but we can fix that later. Yeah, that works. That works. Very well, even. The only thing is... and not... position smoothing enabled. So we just do it... yeah. So we only do it once. Instead of doing it every single time. That's a weird approach, but I think that might be the best solution we can find. Because now it works. Here it works. That works. Yep, it works. Good job, team. We did it. I'm actually kind of proud of that one. That went surprisingly quickly. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it then. Before we do, anyone any ideas what I should put on the to-do list next? Because we've pretty much fixed most things that I've seen so far. Exactly. How dare? How dare, French? How dare? But yeah, if it's stupid and works, it isn't stupid. But yeah, I think for now this is all. Which is great, because that means our to-do list is very short. I guess documentation. Also, maybe backgrounds are a bit more important and just would be nice to have. Maybe there's something we actually need. But yeah. I'm happy with our progress today. I might start working on spriting the falling platforms off stream. I have an idea for the background already. Since we're kinda in an harbor, scrapyard sort of area, have like a city on the one side, have the ocean in the background, maybe a sunset or something. Some ships. Which is going to be a lot of work, so I'd actually be excited to do that maybe next week. But yeah, speaking of next stream, next stream is probably going to be Arceus again. But next Friday I'm probably going to do more of this. Unless something gets in the way. Time is currently very weird for me. But yeah. This was fun. I'm happy with the progress we made. We almost cleared out the to-do list. Anyone we should raid? I don't really need a test background, because once I'm working on a background it anyway needs to be a bit more fleshed out, so might as well. Yeah, it can be difficult to make a lot of artwork. Yeah, it's actually really interesting comparing the different media types of media, like movies, comics, all of that, comparing that with video games, because we get a lot out of a few assets, but we still need to handle those assets in a different way. Because, for example, movies can spend hours on one frame of animation, compared to a game that needs to render each of its animations in real time. It's a really interesting concept. And also, there's a lot of... I can actually show off a little before we go. The animations I needed to make for my character, like for the character we have in the game, a lot of it is very lazy, but we have a lot of animations for this character. One sec. Like, we have a bunch of animations here with a lot of frames, but we also reuse a lot of frames. Like, I often use the same sort of animation for the arms or legs multiple times. It's actually really interesting. That's Sprite, yes. Sprite is so good. I cannot begin to describe how useful Sprite is. It's just that good. But yeah. For example, the legs I reused from the walking animations. The arms, similarly, I use a lot in different animations. Because at the end of the day, you can reuse a lot of parts of animations. Also, I'm really proud of that ledge grab animation. By the way. Sprite is definitely better for pixel art, I think. Like, if you're working with pixel art, Sprite is the best thing. I can 100% recommend it. But I want to learn more art programs than just Sprite. Because while I would say I'm pretty good at pixel art, I want to learn more art styles. Yeah, pixel art is fun, but also very... I think it's a lot more focused in a way. Like, you know a lot more what you're doing with pixel art compared to... Because every pixel is deliberately placed. But yeah, just a side tangent while we were at the topic. Chamber is currently doing 1000 Year Door. I kinda don't want to get spoiled. It's the thing. Because I still want to play it. But I also know a lot about 1000 Year Door, so it's not like I don't know what the game is about. I'm very bad at choosing raid targets, especially when a lot of people are live. So it always feels bad when you have like a lot of people you want to raid but can only raid one. Uh, yeah, sure. Ceric suggested. We can raid. Let's raid Arculine. She's currently doing Animal Crossing, which sounds like a very chill time. Um, but yeah, Aki is an amazing artist. She does a lot of great art, also a lot of cursed art, but also a lot of great art. She does a bunch of games as well. Like she's currently doing Dark Souls. Yeah, cursed is great. Aki does cursed art and content pretty much every Thursday, so that's pretty much a highlight of the week. Cursed art, cursed video reviews, cursed whatever. Also, the community is very chaotic, very fun. So, yeah, raid message. Raid message is going to be, this worked better than I expected. Considering this has been the motto of the entire stream. With whatever raid emotes you like. My raid emote, your raid emote, and yeah, I'll see you all around. Thank you for hanging out. And I'll see you soon. Bye.